Welcome to the Locker Room Talk. We're finally done with the sound checks.
We did it, man. We got to get a producer.
Yeah.
That's 10 minutes of what? Crafting something that we're supposed to care about?
Yeah. Well, last week we just fucked up enough that we started playing Triple H's entrance music, and this week we're like, let's be a little more professional. And then I think we ended up with some bonus content there.
We really did.
Yeah. Once we have the Patreon, we'll release all the sound checks as a Patreon exclusive, and you can hear us smoke crack and say the N-word.
I mean, that's essentially what they want. They want to see the band tune up. You know, they want to hear the orchestra.
That's us doing our vocal exercises. Just saying
rape,
the
rape,
N-word.
rape, 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 rape. We're having a good time, man.
Rubber baby puppy rapers.
And we're back.
We're back, man.
We're back.
Feels good, dude. I know I'm on record saying this constantly, but the boys are back.
Boys are back.
The boys
are they in town though?
I think so.
You know that song is Thin Lizzy is a black Irish guy, and I don't mean black like they say black Irish because they have like dark
No black
eyes.
guy would like a Thin Lizzy. A Lizzo, however.
Yeah. He wanted the band to be
Lizzo is still an obese woman. Well, congratulations. You are morbidly obese, but you are thin by Lizzo standards. that should be the new body mass index at the rate America's going.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're only one Lizzo. Turns out you don't need Lipitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Thin Lizzy, they're a band from Ireland.
Yeah.
And the guy's Irish, of course, but he's half black.
Gross.
You ever met a Irish guy who is also black?
I've seen you rap before.
That's the closest you've seen.
That's the closest I've seen to a black Irish person is my Irish friend rapping.
Same fucking thing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, black is a feeling. Hashtag black is a feeling. You want to try to get that going on Twitter?
I would love it because then 4chan would just like manipulate it and then like have scenes of violence and say black is a feeling. Just like violent things of like people being attacked, war and shit. And be like, yeah, black's a feeling, all right.
If black's a feeling, then facts don't care about your feelings means something real different now.
We here at UCLA have ended the affirmative action program because facts don't care about your feelings.
That's some good riffing right there.
Are they a
fellas.
one-hit wonder, Thin Lizzy? I don't know another Thin Lizzy song.
I don't either, but I also don't know enough music stuff that I like. There are a lot of bands where I only know one of their songs, and they actually have more.
Yeah.
So I would think they're a one-hit wonder, but it's like, oh no, I actually just don't know a lot about music.
Yeah. Matt's like, they have more than I Want to Hold Your Hand. I got to check out the Beatles.
And it's like, what defines a one-hit wonder? Like they only had they can be like a successful band, but like they have like a huge hit. So it's like, is that, or they just like fade into obscurity and they have nothing else going for them? Or
I mean, the big one, I think there's Tony Basil is the person who's saying, "Oh, Mickey, you're so fine." I think that's like a one-hit wonder. I only know about this because Tony Basil was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm pretty sure, recently, or maybe it was someone who either wrote or sang the song "Oh Mickey, You're So Fine," and that was like a thing where people were like, "What, a one-hit wonder gets in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?"
Yeah,
I don't know much about the debate. I'm all about the Baseball Hall of Fame debates, but I don't know much about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ones.
Who should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame? That's not.
Pete Rose is like, and Barry Bonds are probably like the top two.
And they're both not in because they were naughty boys, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They were
Well,
naughty
I'm going
boys.
to respectfully disagree, and I'm going to say the monkey in the Matt LeBlanc
Ed.
blockbuster,
Ed.
Yeah.
I think Charlie Sheen as Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn in Major League, Bernie Mac, Stan Ross. Let's go through every baseball movie.
The entire lineup of The Sandlot.
All of the Angels in the outfield.
No, just God. Yeah, that's good.
All of the kids in the Sandlot except Smalls.
Yeah. Rookie of the Year, that kid. That
Thomas Ian Nicholas. That was a mind fuck for me because have you ever seen Rookie of the Year, Bobby?
No.
It's about a kid who breaks his arm and all of a sudden could throw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, so he gets signed by the Cubs.
Dude, you know how many lawsuits they had to settle because kids were throwing themselves down the stairs after watching that movie?
Just trying to break their arm so they could be a major league pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they would like.
Or fucking abusive dads being like, he was trying to be like that kid in the movie.
Yeah.
We told you that was just a movie.
I saw that movie when it came out in like the early 90s. So I saw that when I was like 8 or 9 years old. Loved that movie. Then that kid is the lead in American Pie.
Which one? That's not Jason
The first
Biggs?
one. No, the first one, the lead is Thomas Ian Nicholas. Jason Biggs is like one of his friends in the first one.
What?
He becomes like the lead.
Yeah, all he does is fuck a pie, I think.
He
in the
fucks
first-
the pie and has the scene with Shannon Elizabeth. He like steals the movie.
Really?
But the main characters were Thomas Ian Nicholas and his girlfriend Tara Reid.
That's great. Damn, I never. Is he in any of the sequels?
Yeah, he's in them. And the thing is, he's just like Jason Biggs' friend.
Wow.
Yeah, it seemed those first couple movies, it's like Thomas Ian Nicholas and his best friend Jason Biggs, and they deal with like Stifler, Finch, and their other characters. But yeah, it's Thomas Ian Nicholas and Tara Reid's relationship is like the main crux of the first movie. And then you have Oz, was the lacrosse player with Heather Graham.
Oh, I never watched that movie because I was too young when it came out, and then when I was finally old enough, I was like, I'm just gonna watch like a regular ass porn. I can see Shannon Elizabeth tits. I don't need a fucking plot.
American Wedding came out like right around when I was like 13, so I watched the first two then. I think I had the second one on like VHS also. It was like two girls kissing in that one. That was everything I needed when I was
watched
12.
American Wedding, and then it was like Stifler was the main character.
Stifler became an American Wedding because the first two movies, Stifler's just the bad guy. He's just the bully.
This is all in the American Pie verse too.
Yes, in the American Pie universe. Stifler's the bad guy. And American Wedding, he has his baby face turn. He becomes like, you see he kind of has a heart, and he like saves the wedding at the end of it. And because in the first two movies, Stifler was the bad guy. He was stone cold. He was the bad guy everyone hated, who was just cool enough that everyone kind of liked, even though he was doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
And so then they decided to just make all these straight-to-DVD movies, which was just a cousin of the Stiflers, cousin of the Stiflers. They just like used the Stifler name because most people, what people took away from the American Pie movies was Jason Biggs fucking the pie and Stifler.
And Eugene Levy.
Yeah. So I kind of feel Thomas Ian, Rookie of the Year, kind of got phased out a little.
That's crazy. I had no idea he was even in that. I always just thought it was like a Jason Biggs vehicle because he was like, you're the guy that fucked the pie.
Yeah, I mean, his scenes were the best. I think him and Thomas Ian Nicholas were like the main two, but I think it was mainly Thomas Ian Nicholas and Tara. I watched it I watched the American Pie movies fairly often, if you can't tell.
You watch American Pie and you watch The Fast and the Furious. You're just an all-American boy. I never watched that. What did you watch, Bobby? What was in your spank bank? In your youth?
My friend Adam, he let me borrow the DVD for Swordfish, and that helped me out tremendously.
The Halle Berry scene.
Yeah, I had just gotten a DVD player, and my friend let me borrow this cool-ass movie. I still haven't watched it. I just watched the Halle Berry topless scene over and over again. And you could, like, pause it, and there's this one part where, like, the titty, like, kind of hangs over. Dude, that helped me tremendous. Because before that, it was scramble porn. I was just jacking off to like purple and blue titties.
That's all you needed, though, back in the day.
It's a little hard. And I would always come right when the screen went like straight up gray. You know what I mean? I never got to come looking at tits until that Swordfish DVD got
Honestly, that was probably like a good thing that we didn't have access to 4K pornography.
Oh, yeah, because I could get an erection with an adult woman most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I think like one of the first things I remember masturbating to regularly was like after everyone else was in bed, I would fire up the America Online. Now I'm gonna age myself a little bit here. I'm not that old. I'm only 31, but technology changes so fast. Like somebody 3 years younger than you had a completely different. Like they didn't have to ask their parents to hang up the phone so you could go online.
Right.
Like
there'd be DSL at that point.
Yeah.
I did the dumbest thing imaginable using the internet to jack off as a preteen because I'm 31 too. So I printed out a picture. Like I didn't want to jack off in the computer room.
So you printed out a picture of a child?
I printed out a picture of a child. And isn't that stupid?
I guess it wouldn't be illegal if you yourself are also a child.
I think you get a mulligan for sure. You don't go to prison where you get raped by
it's like if
adults.
Like
That'd be counterproductive.
Yeah, if like you were like sending like say like you were like a fucking teenager and like you were sending like pics to like a girl, like that girl wouldn't get in trouble for child pornography.
No, I think it's probably not outlined in the law anywhere, but it's probably like a mulligan type situation.
I think it's one of those things. It's like we're gonna let your parents figure out what to do about this.
But
that was cool back when you would.
That'd suck if your parents fuck you. We're gonna let your parents handle this, and they're molesting the kid.
He's been handled, boys.
Took care of it.
Yeah, I think the first thing I remember masturbating to when my parents would go to sleep, I would go on America Online. I would go to. It wasn't Victoria's Secret. It was like a bikini website.
Amazing.
You didn't even have the concept of like finding naked women or women sucking dicks.
Yeah, I didn't know there were like
Getting
porn
a bukkake
websites.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, getting tied to a bed and being told they'll never be president.
Right.
You think you're gonna vote for you, bitch? You think you can't even get out of this fucking bed?
Back when
Fuck
Kamala.
out of here.
Back
you're gonna unify the nation. You're gonna unify the nation with this dick in your mouth.
Yeah, back in
That
the
was a
day.
good Trump impression. Damn.
Dude, that was just an everyman impression. So
Yeah.
I guess it was a Trump impression.
I miss the days back when Kamala was just a 350-pound African wrestler.
Damn, dude. It sucks we have a woman vice president. Can we just admit that?
All right, now that we've all admitted it.
We admitted it with our silence. And folks, if you're listening at home and you didn't say anything in response to Joe's question, you also admitted it with your science.
Yeah, that was
With
like
your,
the
with
moment.
your science, with your
With your silence.
your science of fucking knowing who three cool guys are to listen to.
No, it was like one of those kids shows where they like on Dora the Explorer, like, can you show me where the next house is? And you wait for the audience to answer. That's what we just did with asking everyone to admit that it's a bad thing we have a woman as a vice president.
Are you distrustful of the global Zog machine? Thanks, me too. God damn, I love racist Dora, dude.
Oh man, but
She only pretends to speak Spanish so she could fucking get illegals.
racist Dora.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you're on American Online, right? And you're
Yes, and I
jacking
would just
off.
look up these like bikini pictures. Was the it wasn't even really movies like the American Pie movies. I mean, the lesbian scene in 2, I remember thinking was awesome, but I don't think I was masturbating yet. Like, there's an age where you're at where you're not masturbating yet, but you still like are horny and nasty.
You're like rubbing your dick, but you don't know. You're like, well, this is sex. I'm doing sex right now.
Yeah, or you don't even know what you're doing. You're just like, I like 2 girls making out is awesome. I don't know why it's awesome, but I'll feel cool if I say it's awesome.
Do you guys have this thing? This might be a weird thing with me. When I see a man and a woman make out, like in a porn, like if they're doing foreplay, I'm a little grossed out by it.
Well, I think the idea of heterosexuality is just revolting to you.
I just hate heteronormity so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Do you guys feel that way?
It depends on what the scene is. If it's one of those where they're like reality kings where they do like real life situations, I kind of like it then because then it like adds to these are two people who kind of just met.
Yeah. It really just depends on what race they are.
Yeah.
You know, that's
now
the
we're
thing.
getting somewhere.
Yeah, we don't. As long as it's not a stomach churning combination, I'm all right with. I'm all right with it.
And folks, whatever you were thinking of, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Woo, just goofing, man. It's like
having a
I
nice
subconsciously want to get fired, so I'm doing this podcast.
Yep.
This is the career equivalent of suicide by cop.
Yeah. I just got a haircut today at a barbershop I hadn't been to before.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
You get a little shave too?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's good.
It was a Russian barbershop where
what?
Oh yeah, I was.
Matt, get the fuck out of my house, dude.
I didn't know it was a Russian barbershop. I just saw it was the closest barbershop I saw on Google Maps, and then went in, and it's very small. So there were only 2 chairs and 2 barbers, and
For
next
now.
next to me,
They're probably going to take over the building next door.
Yeah. Dude. Watch out, Matt. That's all I can say, dude.
Next to me, the barber who was doing my hair was this like older Russian woman, mostly quiet. The guy next to me was loudly talking about how the media is portraying everything Russia's doing terribly, and they're actually in the right.
Oh wow, is this a Russian guy?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And I kind of like, you can't always like look over to the side when
Right.
someone's like cutting your hair. The chances I did get to see, he was like, I don't know if the guy who was getting his haircut wanted this or not. It was just kind of trapped. But he's like showing him videos on his phone.
Oh, hold on. The guy, the pro-Russia guy, is the barber.
Yes.
And he's like ranting at his customer.
Yes.
Dude, I hate him like regardless of what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like fuck off, dude. Cut my hair.
Yeah. I mean, the irony of a Russian imposing his will on someone unwilling while talking about Russia, Ukraine. And at a certain point, it's like, I'm kind of like jokingly like, oh, look at me eavesdropping on this conversation, but I'm not really eavesdropping. It's just, it's a small room and it's a loud conversation.
Yeah.
You're what can you do? It's not like you can like plug your ears.
Exactly. Well, the moment comes when he says, "What do you think about it?" And I'm thinking, please don't be talking to me.
Yeah.
And the woman who's doing my hair doesn't respond at all. And I look up and I see him locking eyes with me.
Oh no.
And I now have to say, but I kind of was just saying, I was like, I don't know, I'm not really following it that closely,
right.
I don't consider Eastern Europeans to be white in general.
Exactly.
Yeah. Something real neutralizing.
I just said, I'm like, I don't know that I study history, and I know that you don't really know about things until decades after they happen anyway. And he goes, that's probably the smart answer, but that's why we're ruined as a country, because no one wants to have an opinion.
Oh, Jesus, man. You were like trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You were trying to say like the most milquetoast just to fucking get the service you paid for.
Yeah, but he wasn't like, I mean, I guess it could have gone a couple of ways. I mentioned that my family came from Kiev, but also
Kiev.
I'm Kiev.
I believe it's pronounced Keef.
Yeah, they're keefing real bad for how much they're getting fucked.
It's
right
actually
now.
it's actually pronounced New Russia.
Yeah.
I mentioned that my family's from there, but I don't know, I'm not really getting it. I was like trying to not play, but then he asked me where I'm from now. He's like from the same hometown as me in Queens, and we just start talking about growing up in Bayside, and now I win him over.
Yeah.
Now we're not talking about Russia anymore, and I don't need to have an opinion on Russia, Ukraine.
But you did find common ground with the person.
Yes.
And that helped you move on. That's funny.
Actually, that's where I'm getting fired, because I humanized somebody who's pro-Russia.
Honestly, yeah. The worst thing you can do in this society is humanize somebody that
Find
everyone
common
else.
ground with somebody who's evil. You're not allowed to do that.
Well, he must feel real happy that he denazified you. You know, which is ironic since
that was for the video. He's showing this guy all the videos of Nazis in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was all the things that you see on Twitter that you're not sure how many people in real life actually believe.
Right.
When you dig deep into like the extreme stuff on Twitter, and then you're hearing it and it's like, oh yeah, some people do believe this stuff.
Yeah.
For some people, it's not just locker room talk.
Yeah.
Some people, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
Damn.
Awkward.
I hope you don't get invaded by the Russians. I'm going to be pissed, honestly. I don't want to learn that alphabet. It's too confusing.
Yeah.
It's like I don't think we'll ever have like a fucking invader in America. Well, the last time
Not in our lifetime.
The last time we
probably.
were like outward, not like a terrorist thing, but like it would be like what, Pearl Harbor, right? That was like last time like a country like invaded us.
I guess that was like an attack. No one's invaded as in come in to like take over and make us learn their language.
And they never will.
Right.
This is fucking America, dude.
This is America.
As long as we build that wall.
We'll build a wall around all of us, a dome. Build that dome.
Build the
honestly.
dome.
Yeah.
Get dome in the dome. That's how we'll get people to come inside.
Hell yeah. Get that dome.
Get that
Yeah,
dome.
That's the
come
new
in there,
build the wall. The new build the wall is get that dome.
Get
Build that dome, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. Get that dome.
Get that dome. Get that dome.
That's like all the Republican fucking conventions are going to start having that chant. It's the new "Let's Go, Brandon." Get that dome.
Or the Democrats do get that dome while the Republicans have build the wall, and that's the great debate of the 21st century.
Yeah.
Whether we build a dome or a wall.
That's the perfect illusion of choice.
Yes.
I'm so annoyed to
That's
hear.
where you have the third parties who are like, I mean, the dome and the wall are basically the same thing. I don't even know why you're making me choose between the two.
And then, you have guys like, how about we rebuild our infrastructure.
Yeah.
And they're like, that is not catchy at all.
The new
dude.
libertarian is the person who doesn't want a border at all.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want anything built up. Everyone else is like dome and wall, and somebody's like, what if we had nothing? You're like, go fucking vote third party and throw your vote away then.
Damn. Do you think we should vote third party?
I think it could depend on where you live. I vote third party. I've voted third party a lot because I live in New York, and it's always going to go one way anyway. So I think voting third party is a way to actually have your voice heard, because your vote is recorded, but not for the party that's winning, but also not for the other party.
I vote fifth party.
Fifth party. Constitution Party voter.
Exactly.
I have actually voted for because at one point I was so nihilistic, I would either just vote against the incumbent or every third party, even if I didn't know who they were. I would see the Women's Equality Party and be like, yeah, they could probably use a vote. They're probably not getting many votes. And I figure if there has to be a Women's Equality Party, then there's some people who are so upset with everything they had to create it. No one else is voting for them. They're not going to win, so I'll throw my vote there.
Women wouldn't even vote for the Women Equality Party.
Most of them probably don't.
They probably don't, dude. Women hate each other.
Also, then I get to
They're too catty to vote for another
No,
woman.
absolutely. They're never going to get... Dude, it's a fucking... The only reason Kamala Harris is fucking vice president is because a man said, we need a fucking woman vice president.
I think it's because I once voted for the Women's Equality Party.
Maybe, yeah. Fucking Joe Biden took a fucking minute from sniffing children's hair to
That's the
look
other-
over the voting record and be like, hey, maybe this guy here, maybe he wants a woman, man.
That's the other side of it, is no matter how many jokes I've said, or doing a show called Locker Room Talk, and whoever could get upset with me, it's like, have you ever voted for the Women's Equality Party before? Because I have.
Have you ever voted for the National Socialist Party before?
Ooh, I bet you have.
Unfortunately, they're not on the ballot in New York.
Yeah. they're not. Also,
that would be the test for me. Will I vote for any third party just to make a point?
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote for the mayor next time. I haven't voted my entire time.
The ranked choice voting is fun.
I voted for. I had to vote for Trump in the because they were like, this election really matters. I'm like, oh yeah, Donald J. Trump. But it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I knew it didn't matter, and I knew he wasn't gonna win again. There's no way. So I threw my vote away, and then I voted for Bernie Sanders before him, and I was so disillusioned that I was like, I have no choice.
Yeah, I don't
funny.
think I've actually... I don't know when the last time was I voted for a mayor. Oh, no, I remember voting for mayor. I voted third party on mayors also.
I keep forgetting when the voting for mayor is, so I keep missing it. And I think that's the most New York response.
Yeah, well, really, the thing is, for mayor in New York, it's the Democratic primary is who's deciding. Because it's all, my whole life when I've been old enough to vote, it's always a Democrat that wins. And
After Bloomberg.
Yeah. And I'm registered as an independent, so I can't vote in the Democratic
What are
primary.
you registered as, Bobby?
I'm a Democrat.
Damn.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to switch before the general so I could just vote for whoever's not Trump in the Republican Party. Because I don't care what Democrat wins. You know what I mean?
Ooh, you're going to be a scab.
Yeah, I'm gonna scab.
That was
Ooh.
I think that was a big Rush Limbaugh thing that he was the first one to say he told people in New York to register Democrats so they can kind of fuck with the Democratic primaries. Not just in New York, across the country, you fuck with the Democratic primaries in the states you're in.
Yeah, well,
Damn.
I'm kind of, I guess, a conservative Democrat, so I'm pretty much gonna like whoever's wins the primary.
Yeah, you're a Democrat who loves Trump.
Wait, you're a conservative Democrat. Why don't you just be a liberal Republican?
I suppose.
Doesn't that sound like a little bit better? For some reason, conservative Democrat seems way more fucking prudy than a liberal Republican.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm a liberal Republican. Let's smoke some fucking weed.
Yeah, that
liberal
is true.
Republican is
yeah.
I'll smoke weed, but I won't buy it from a black guy.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I think I'm a liberal Republican now that in practice, I'm a liberal Republican.
I think I want to start bringing back old 1800s political terms. Start telling people I'm a bourbon Democrat or something like that.
Ooh,
I'm
I know nothing.
Bull and Moose Party.
Yeah, I'm actually a little more of a bull moose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be a Whig, but then
Wasn't there even a Nazi party in America for a hot minute?
Yeah, there never to the point where it wasn't as the Socialist Party in the early 1900s was even a little bit bigger. I feel like in the 1920s and 10s there might have been some American Nazi Party candidates.
There was that big rally at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
I was that video where they were look how cool Nazism
Yeah,
is.
and I didn't even know Compound Media existed back then, but
Hey, come on, dude. They're going to sponsor the show someday.
Gino Bisconti and Anthony Cumia judging Comedy Fight Club on March 20th at the Stand.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
That'll be fun, dude.
Yeah.
That'll be very fun. Those
Gino's judged it a bunch before. Cumia is I've like had interactions with him, but we've never really like talked. But Gino loves Fight Club and said he asked Anthony and he wants to judge it. He saw when we did the Fight Club at Skankfest.
Oh, fun. That's awesome, man. Dude, I like no matter what happens, dude, like I'll always love Opie and Anthony was so pivotal in my early love of like that was like the first time I ever listening to Opie and Anthony. It was like, oh, comedy isn't just like, oh, my wife and kid. Like I thought it was like Ray Romano and Jerry Seinfeld type stuff. And I think Opie and Anthony kind of opened my eyes that comedy could be so much more.
Yeah, well, it was a great show because you had like a radio legend and Anthony Cumia.
Hell yeah, we might get picked up by Faction Talk too. Who knows?
Anything's possible, lads.
Yeah,
anything is possible.
It's always weird in comedy, like with Cumia, where there's like people who they've seen you before, and you've seen them before, but they're still like so much further along and more famous than you that it's a weird like I'm not gonna like kiss their ass. That's just not me. But I also like, how do you like kind of bridge that almost?
I feel that, yeah. I feel like anytime like I'm hanging out the Stand and like somebody who's like, kind of like famous, like is like kind of like nods and like, how you doing? Like, they just say like that casual, like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Type shit. Just like, fuck, I made it,
Yeah.
It's that feeling of like, oh, this fucking person, like I acknowledge as a comedian, acknowledges me back as a peer. And that's like that's like,
yeah, but there's also like if you're at a bar show or at an open mic, for the most part, you can talk to someone. It's like they've seen you before and you've seen them, and you just like go into talking with them like you know each other almost. Right. But I'm like, I don't feel like I can do that with Cumia, but maybe I could, and I'm just like in my own head.
Well, there's a camaraderie with like knowing that somebody does stand up comedy. Like you do have like that. Like everyone that's done stand up comedy, like everyone's had like a good set. Everyone's bombed. Everyone has like a show they want to talk about.
I actually don't know if Cumia's bombed because Cumia just started doing stand-up and he's already has this audience. So I remember hearing like Aaron Berg saying something like, I can't wait till the first time Cumia bombs. And it was after like months of him having done shows. That's because there are all these comedians at the compound shows where everyone loves Cumia.
Well, Berg even said like he was going to do a push-up every time Cumia had a great set, and now look how jacked he is.
Yeah. And that's what gave him the heart attack.
Trying to keep up with all the push-ups of how many great sets Cumia was having. He can do 27 sets in one night, but he can't keep up with the amount of killing that Anthony Cumia does.
Yeah. Yeah, I did In Hot Water this past week, and then it was Gino Bisconti and Shuli Egar was on too. And Shuli's somebody who I've known like for a while. He used to judge Fight Club. He saw me doing the roast, and he's also a big wrestling fan. I feel like once you have something outside of comedy in common with someone, even if they're further along than you have been around for a while, you just talk about that, and now it's like, oh, that's like a friend I talked to about that, and we also happen to know each other in comedy. But Gino, afterwards, it's like, you want to go to the bar across the street? And it's like, yeah, I'll hang out with them. But I don't know if either of you guys have ever been drinking with Gino. It's like 1 hour, I got 4 shots of whiskey and 3 beers, and I'm like, all right, I'm good to go. I know, Bobby, you haven't been drinking with Gino.
No.
Because you're sober.
Yeah.
But that sounds like heavy. That sounds like college level.
Yeah, it is.
Where it's like, all right, dude, like, I'm here to have like a good buzz. I don't need to get fucked up.
Yeah, and Gino's like over 50, still doing that every day.
That's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even really drink a whole lot anymore. Like, I'll have like a drink, but I don't drink to like black out anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I guess I'm still a big guy and I have enough tolerance that it didn't like completely fuck me up. But after like an hour and that much, I knew I was like, yeah, it's I'm good to go. I'm not an actual degenerate. I just like to have a little locker room talk.
Now like my tolerance is so like I used to have like a pretty high tolerance when I would drink all the time in California, but now that I'm back, it's like I had like I think the last time I drank was in December.
Really? You go that long without drinking?
Well, yeah, I was at like a family dinner and like I had like a couple glasses of wine with my family, and like afterwards I was like hammered off of like 2 glasses. I was like, whoa.
What's your like an embarrassing drunken story? A drunken Joe Gorman story?
Jesus Christ, dude! A lot of puking on myself. Like I would like puke in cabs all the time in San Francisco, and like I would have to say I'd always have like $50 in advance just to pay off the cab driver.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, it sucks.
Your puke money.
Just like I would have like puke money. I was just like always drunk, and I would think about like it's like I probably fucking put my career back like 2 or 3 years just by being drunk and not focusing on actually writing material. Like I feel like if I like spent half the time like just drinking and getting fucked up as I did like going out and like working on my act and actively trying to get booked, I probably have like a fucking.
There's a lot of people in comedy where it's weird because there's a lot of people in comedy where people say, oh, if they didn't drink or do this many drugs, they'd be further along. But so many people in comedy are doing it that the fact that I haven't and still I'm not further along means I'm just terrible at comedy, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the people that are like really good at promoting themselves and like do all the right industry stuff usually fucking suck.
Well, and then like I was also like a lot of those people that I was comparing myself to at the time who were further ahead of me, like they all quit comedy.
Yeah.
Like they either like pump the brakes or, you know, they'll do like 1 or 2 showcases, but they don't have nearly the momentum they had, you know, years ago.
Remember when you first started and you thought the person hosting the open mic was a big deal?
Oh, yeah. You're like, hey, man, you talk to them afterwards. Like, do you have any advice and shit?
Yeah, and now if we meet someone whose only credit is they host an open mic at Eastville Comedy Club on Tuesdays, you're like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy,
how do I get
make
mace?
fun of it all. Yeah, how funny would like is like, do you have anything coming up? I'm like, yeah, I got something coming up. An open mic. A free open mic. Check it out. Yeah.
I mean, you did do that on Rap.
I didn't have a choice. I'm sorry, dude. I don't have any shows, dude. We got to go on the road.
Yeah, imagine if somebody did that thing I did on a podcast 2 weeks ago.
I thought it was charming and endearing. It's like, man, look, it ain't much, but it's honest work.
Your dog
Bobby,
is,
what about
Yeah, he's all over the place, man. He's always.
I thought he was gonna get in my book bag for a second.
Nah, he's fine. He just has his little carrying case.
He's got his little bed. Sorry,
Bobby. I know you have a lot of crazy drunk stories because you're sober now.
Oh yeah. No one's is like, oh, I don't drink anymore, and they don't have crazy stories.
Yeah, I guess maybe if they're like older, they stop drinking for like you could say it's for health reasons.
Oh yeah. That guy that like they're a functional alcoholic until their doctor says to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
but
guess
that's like
so.
in your 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. Well, I the worst of it was like around the last 2 years that I was drinking.
Yeah.
I lived in the Czech Republic, Prague.
Yeah.
And beer is cheaper than water there. So it's like literally the worst place that you could live in if you have a drinking problem.
How is beer cheaper than water?
It's you could get a beer for like less than $1.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was the case in America like most of the 1800s is that it was cheaper and there was like beer was more available than clean drinking water and whiskey and bourbon, like all that was more available, which is like we look back at Prohibition as this like crazy thing that you would ever do that. But at the time it wasn't like in the 1800s. Every guy was drunk all the time beating their wives. Like the original temperance movement came out of like women's rights.
Girls were girls and men were men.
That's when we say the good old days.
Yeah.
When our boy Donnie J was saying "Make America Great Again," he meant everyone getting fucked up on readily available alcohol. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, people really were just like getting drunk and operating heavy machinery, and they were only 11.
Yeah.
It was the decade of debauchery, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was I forgot this woman's name. It was like Crazy Mary or something like that. There was this woman who in the late 1800s like was so anti-alcohol. She like took a hatchet and started going to saloons and
She was
breaking
an ICP fan.
No, she was just breaking all the shit in these bars and like murdering bartenders with a hatchet because of how terrible the alcohol made men.
What an ugly broad.
Yeah. All these men are treating women like dogs except for me. They don't talk to me at all.
Yeah, I'd like to see that bitch try to come between me and my Coors Light.
Imagining Joe running against her for office. Yeah. This Prohibition lady and just Joe. But, from my cold, dead hands, bitch.
Yeah, every rebuttal is like, shut up, bitch. Can you believe this broad tossed me a beer?
Your
It's
closing
unchristian.
argument is the Stone Cold beer bash.
I'm doing that thing. Like, toss it here. I catch it, dude. Damn,
And then she comes out and she's like, I am leaving, and you give her a stunner.
I'm like, have a beer. I hold it out. That was my favorite. Whenever Stone Cold would offer someone a beer, and they were like, am I good? I think you would always give them a stunner.
It's so, at a certain point, you think people would be like, at the end of the beatdown, there's always like, yo, you're not going to do it to me, right? We can have a beer together? Okay, and as soon as they start drinking each stunner, at a certain point, are you going to just stop accepting the beer from Stone Cold?
It's like Lucy and the football in Peanuts.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I gotta try it.
But yeah, Bobby, you were in the Czech Republic as an alcoholic.
Yeah, I was teaching English there for $12 an hour. Just like a year out of college, had no idea what I was doing, and my buddy was gonna do it. He's like, you could go there, take a course for like a month, and then you could teach English. And literally, I was like, okay, I will do that too, because I was just so not knowing what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I went there, and I'm like okay at teaching English. Like, I learned the grammar rules, all the stuff we were supposed to learn in high school, but we didn't because we already speak this language.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like okay at public speaking, I guess.
Yeah.
So I got like okay at teaching English, and when I wasn't like too sick to go, I would I'd be like pretty good at like teaching a class.
Yeah.
But I was just like, when I wasn't doing that, I was drunk all the time.
Yeah.
And I got into a fight with a guy because I kept petting his dog.
A student?
No.
Or like a blind student?
Is it because you called his girlfriend his dog as you were petting her?
I was like, I like your dog. She's pretty great. We should have a three-way. No, there was a guy at this bar, and I would get like hammered and like misread people.
Oh.
That was my problem, is that I would get like, I would think people were like fucking with me when they weren't, you know, or even if they were, it was like not a big deal, you know what I mean? So like there was this big guy alone at a bar with this like very large dog, and so I went over and I like pet his dog. And then I like left, and I came back to pet the dog again. And this guy alone at the bar with a dog, I don't think I'm the audience he's looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like go to pet the dog again, and he kind of dismissively went like, hey man, like, come on, I don't want you hanging out with my dog all night. And I just turned. I was like, hey, fuck you, man. Fuck you, I'll pet your dog whenever I want. Like, completely uncalled for. And then just like, turned on my heels and walked away as if nothing would come of that, right? And then so like I forget about it. Like a half hour later, I'm like peeing in the urinal. All of a sudden, the next thing I know, someone's slamming my head against the stall. Yeah. And like I was like literally confused, and I look over and I saw it was him. I was like, oh. And first of all, my penis hurts because I had to make myself stop peeing. And I just immediately was like, I'm sorry. Like, just completely. That sobered me up, getting my head slammed into a toilet stall.
Yeah.
Dude. And after that happened, I drank for 2 more years.
Yeah.
That wasn't your
Rock
point
bottom.
of, yeah.
I woke up the next day. I was like, that's crazy. I hope I don't do that again. Anyway, time not to change any of the behavior that led me to it.
Damn, dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where you decided to get sober? Was there something worse than that?
No, well, the weird thing is, no. Like I had so I got like blackout drunk and was too sick to go to work, but that had happened many times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for some reason I was like, oh, I can't keep living like this, you know, and I can't drink anymore, and I just won't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't like go to meetings or anything. I'm just like, whatever else is going on in my brain, who knows? But like, just don't put alcohol in it, stupid. You know?
Yeah. I think that's most of the time when somebody like decides to get sober or lose weight. Everyone loves to like have the story of like, it was one time where this girl said this thing to me, or I was alone by myself, and like it was no one thing that happened. You just decided one day you'd get your life together.
Yeah. I do have I have a scar on my chin, which you probably can't even notice from the last night I drank. And whenever I shave, it like hurts. So it's like a nice little, like 2 or 3 times a week when I shave, I like remind myself that I can't drink. It's like my version of an AA chip.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I did actually. When I don't remember this. My parents told me I quit drinking from a bottle because of another girl who was my age, like another 4-year-old girl. I think I was like 3 or 4. Like I shouldn't have been drinking from the bottle anymore.
I thought it was beer bottle. I thought we were still on drinking alcohol.
No, bottle, like drinking from a bottle as a baby.
Oh, hell yeah.
I wouldn't have picked up on it until you said I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, I said drinking from a bottle.
Yeah, well, like a bottle
I guess a
of
beer
liquor.
bottle. Yeah,
That's what I thought you were saying because I know that you still drink, but
Yeah.
I thought you had this moment. You were like, okay,
Just cans.
no more drinking
Yeah.
whiskey straight from the bottle. No more drinking an entire bottle of alcohol.
Yeah,
No
he
more
gets like a handle of fucking Jack Daniels or some shit.
No
It's
more
like,
smashing bottles over people's heads because they won't let me pet their dog.
Dude, and this guy, by the way, like, huge.
Yeah.
Just this huge Czech guy that, like, it was totally, not only was it, like, rude and disrespectful of me, but just ill-advised.
Yeah.
And dumb, you know what I mean? Like, and for people that don't know what I look like, I'm only 5'10". You know what I mean? So
you gotta have that icebreaker. May I pet your dog?
Yes.
the thing is, he let me do it the first time. It's that I
Yeah.
didn't have continual access to his dog. Well, you know what pissed me off was the dismissiveness with which he fucking...
Yeah.
You got that ego in you, Bobby
Oh,
Sheen.
well, yeah, not anymore. I guess like if you just add alcohol, I get this weird. That's why when people are like, because I don't have an ego. I don't think.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm a grade A dog petter.
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah. You don't know how lucky you are that I pet your dog. Bitch.
Your dog's on cloud 9, dude.
Yeah, but that's why I'm like skeptical when people say like a drunken man's thoughts or a drunken man's words or a sober man's thoughts. I'm like, some people just can't handle drugs. You know what I mean? Some people, their brain chemistry, because there's no scenario if I was sober in which I would behave that way. You know what I'm saying?
Not behave that way, but I think I could see where that saying is coming from is that when you're sober, you may think certain things, but you know that it's not real. You just people think crazy things. Like some people think that Kamala Harris should be the vice president. People will just think
Looks
crazy
like
things.
200 million people need to have their rock bottom moment.
Yes. But yeah, you can just think like you think about killing someone. Like everyone
yeah.
thinks like things that they don't actually believe. When you get drunk, you say more of the things that you don't necessarily believe, but they're somewhere in there.
You
Like,
know
I'm
they're
gonna
gonna
kill
cut-
you.
They're going to cut the clip of you going, you know how you think about killing someone.
Yeah.
And Joe and I just going, yep. You
It was
said
just
it, brother.
a little locker
Just
room
a little
talk.
locker room talk. We found plans.
Yeah.
We found a diagram of the White House in your apartment. That's just some locker room drawings.
If we get a studio, we have to have we have to make it look like an actual locker room with like the locker room benches and all those those little ass cubbies you can put your shit in.
Yeah.
Some old
We
dude
have to-
perpetually powdering his balls.
We
Gino
have to
Bisconte, welcome to the
Yes.
fucking.
We had to record the show in towels only.
Yeah, I got one wrapped up around my hair.
You have a full face mask on.
Yeah, I got that. I got my towel, like my other towel, is like way over my nipples, so I
Yeah.
don't show off anything. I'm a prude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a crazy drinking story, Matt?
That time when I gave up the bottle.
Oh, yeah. Where was that going?
Yeah, so when I was like 3 or 4 years old, we were in like a playground, and ran over to my parents for a bottle. They've been trying to like wean me off the bottle, but I wouldn't give it up. And I was like playing with chalk or whatever with some girl, and then I run over to get my bottle, and I go back over to the girl, and she goes, "You still drink from a bottle?" And my parents said I never drank from a bottle again.
Damn, dude, what a simp. You still drink from a bottle? Not if you don't like it, babe. I'll change everything about me, dude. Matt should have been sucking on a bottle right now, dude. But this bitch from 30 years ago had to ruin it, dude.
Matt had the same conversation 26 years later, except it was you still live with your parents?
Yeah. No. I'll move out right now. I swear I will.
At least it's
Damn, you were a horned up 4-year-old. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Matt just has been given into peer pressure his entire life.
Yeah.
That's
No,
all it really is.
one of my earliest childhood memories is a fight I got in preschool because me and a girl built a fort with blocks, and a guy came and knocked it over, and the girl who I made the fort with started crying, and I picked up one of the blocks and hit the guy in the back of the head.
Nice,
Okay.
dude. What about
Okay.
defending a woman's honor?
Yes.
There you go. Did you get dome from that girl?
Yeah. She sucked his dick during nap time.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fucking sat in the two cots, I think the preschool teacher's reading her romance novel. Yeah. Let me show you something.
It's time for the Sons of Anarchy portion of the fucking
preschool.
Put your blanket over here. Let me show you something.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, that's my
Joe,
crazy.
you got 2 handkerchiefs on your wall, and it's blue and yellow.
Oh, I actually.
There's more. It's a whole thing.
Those are my Buddhist meditation flags that have fallen down.
Okay.
Really? Oh, I thought a magician threw up.
Damn, we gotta get a camera. These fucking visuals, they're great.
Well, does your girlfriend want the world to know the inside of her apartment?
She's been very. No, we're not allowed. We're not even allowed to. I'm not even allowed to say I'm in a relationship.
She said
Didn't
that.
you just
the judge
post-
said that.
Yeah.
You just posted a picture of her on International Women's Day on Instagram.
I had to. It made her happy. That's what I realized, fellas. You want a happy relationship? Do stuff to make a woman happy.
Happy wife, happy life.
I got that tattooed on my chest.
I got it tattooed on my taint.
I got happy wife, happy life tattooed in prison. So I remember.
Get a lower back tattoo. Happy wife, happy life.
That way, when I'm about to get raped, the guy's like, he's off the market. He's taken.
They call that a prison ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, it wouldn't be right. I'm in this whole mess for stealing.
Yeah.
Never again. Yeah, man. Happy wife, happy life, dude.
What do you guys do for International Women's Day? Joe posted a picture of his girlfriend. Bobby suspiciously did not.
Uh-oh.
Trouble in paradise.
That's because I fucked up on Valentine's, so I needed to redeem myself.
Well, my girlfriend has specifically asked me not to post stuff about her on social media.
Like not post pictures.
Well, she doesn't. I don't think she wants. This might sound crazy, but I don't think she wants to get canceled by proxy.
Yes,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
you did post. It was something that she said. She said, "What have you turned me into?"
Well, it's because she could remain she could remain anonymous because she has like a job that she isn't. She's not gleeful at the idea of getting fired from, like us.
Well, I'm not gleeful, but I'm. When it comes down to it, it's like I care more about this.
Was it on mic that you said this is like suicide by cop?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, thank God. Thank God, and thank God I did. No, but my girl's like the same way. She doesn't want me to bring her up on this just out of fear that our fan base would kill her.
And
way,
if our fan base is worth anything, they would.
They would because they know that by killing her it would unlock my full potential as a man with nothing to lose. So I would be, because like right now I'm a family man.
Yeah.
Right. Like I'm a family man.
Yeah.
But if something were to happen to her,
dude,
it would just be comedy and vengeance.
Yeah.
You would go full nofap. Like you would just have all of that energy inside you for bits.
Dude, I'd be like Patrick Swayze's character in Roadhouse, just doing karate in the morning, shirtless with glistening abs.
Damn, that sucks that the only thing standing between you and abs is your girl.
Yeah, that's
sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, that's why. Hey, small price to pay, baby. Small price to pay.
When was International Women's Day?
Yesterday, dude.
Yesterday?
Or the day
we
before.
we watched
more like International House of,
you guys, what'd you watch?
War Games with Matthew Broderick.
War Games.
Oh, that was from the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
wasn't that like
he gave me a fucking weird feeling, dude, because I looked up how old he was later.
Like the kind of vibe from a guy who might kill someone drunk driving.
Yeah. Oh,
that's his fucking rock bottom story there, dude. Hey, look, you think
I completely forgot about that. That's great.
Yeah.
That was like in Ireland or some shit.
Yeah,
I
some
think
foreign
so,
country.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought
So it doesn't
petting
really
the guy's
count?
dog was bad.
God damn. He was such a sexy 21-year-old in that movie. I felt weird because he's in high school in the movie, so I like paused it and Googled how old is Matthew Broderick in this movie, and he's 21, so it's cool.
Well, don't worry, dude. Everyone does that with Euphoria now.
Yeah.
Like, can I fucking jerk off to Sid Sweeney's tits? Because she's technically a high school student. But guess what? She's a fucking old bitch. She's like 24.
Yeah.
So
That's such an old bitch.
yeah,
dude.
go to town. Go to town, fellas.
Damn.
You got the Joe Gorman Hall pass.
Are you watching Euphoria?
Fuck no.
Kelly is that what you're doing for Women's History Month?
Dude, I'm just
we should all watch Euphoria for Women's History Month.
Buddy, you don't need to watch Euphoria. You just need to go on Reddit and look at all the GIFs they pull from that.
Also,
Euphoria is what I call my girl's face when I tell her a new episode of Locker Room Talk is officially available on Spotify.
Also, Joe, you're gonna want to bleep out. You said your girlfriend's name.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Did he?
No, I didn't. And who cares, dude? People know.
She's
who
in
she is.
show. Your girlfriend's in show business. So
And you
not
did
only
post
that,
a picture of her.
Yeah,
on
I posted
Instagram,
a picture.
yeah.
Like she's always in my social media because
Yeah.
I am happily in a relationship. Sorry, ladies, you want to suck my dick? Not fucking happening.
So my girlfriend doesn't have this presence on social media. Which
She's
is,
off the grid.
She's off the grid, which is very funny because I'm sure there are people that think I'm making her up. You know what I mean?
That's why I always parade her around at
Someone.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
like, hello, everyone at this show. This is my girlfriend I talked
There's a couple
about.
people who've asked me if I've met your girlfriend before, and I told them that she lives in Canada.
Yeah. She goes to a different comedy scene, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's involved in a different comedy scene.
Yeah.
Should we move to L.A.?
I don't think so. I think I would not have fun there.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. And I think the only reason is just because I'm nostalgic for my 20s.
And you were in
Back-
California throughout your
I was
20s.
yeah, I was in California. But now I have to accept my fate as being the greatest comedian in New York City. Even though my soul cries out for the California coast once again.
Well, actually, I was talking to Shuli. I didn't know he moved to Huntsville, Alabama.
Why?
Well, he has a friend who lives there. Huntsville is actually on the come up. There's a lot. There's a lot of there's some space company that's I don't know if it's SpaceX, but or NASA, something like that is there, and also there's a whole bunch of tech jobs there. So it's there's talk of it being the next Nashville, Austin. It's only 2 hours from Nashville, 3 hours from Atlanta. So he's once a week going to Nashville and Atlanta to do shows. And he works on Stern, but he was working remotely for the pandemic. And he showed me a picture of the house he got. It's $200 or $300 more than what he had in Astoria, and it's 6 bedrooms, and it's incredible.
Ugh.
So
Should we move?
I don't know, because I feel I couldn't do Fight Club, and I still want to do Fight Club. But the idea of one day being able to, you have enough of a career that you can live somewhere outside of New York and L.A. For a while, Stanhope was the only one who had that.
Yeah.
We just had his compound in Arizona. But the idea of being able to not have to be in New York or L.A. is something that I think I could get behind one day.
You don't have to be a nationally touring comedian already.
Yeah.
To be able,
Yeah.
But there's nothing like performing it. I don't know. New York is just a vibe all of its own, man.
Yeah.
It really, and I'm saying this as somebody that's lived in multiple cities now. There really is nothing like New York.
You moved around a lot growing up, right?
A little bit. Well, my dad was in the army.
Yeah.
So I was born in
Which
North,
side?
the good side, dude.
Okay.
He was part of Al Qaeda, dude. He was the one who got the fucking World Trade Center blueprints to Al Qaeda. I'm actually half Afghani.
Yeah.
Afghanistan. Yeah, we moved around. I was born, so I grew up in North Carolina.
Really?
I was born in North Carolina.
I thought you were born in Kansas.
No, I was born in North Carolina, and then when we were about 4, we moved to Kansas.
Okay.
And my dad was stationed in Fort Leavenworth, and that's where we did some most of my growing up.
Okay.
And then my mom, after my parents got divorced, my mom remarried, and my stepdad got a job in the pharmaceuticals in the West Coast.
And so then you weren't in Kansas anymore.
I was not in Kansas anymore.
Dude, I was sitting on that this whole time. Come on. I'm like, hurry up. And then fucking...
Your parents divorced and
Damn,
told
dude,
you...
you just Joe Biden that away from me.
Your parents divorced and told you, carry on my wayward son.
Yeah.
It's a song by Kansas.
Yeah, because all we are is dust in the wind, baby. Damn. I moved to California just the right time. I was just turning 13.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't spend what when it comes down to it, California was cool because you got to meet all different kinds of you got to meet all kinds of different groups of people. That was the first time I ever saw a gay couple in real life.
And you immediately threw up on yourself.
I was like, "What, gay man? What the hell?" And
and that's when you realized you need to start carrying $50 around with him into cabs.
I need my vomit money in case I'm drunk or there's gays around.
That is a delicious callback.
Well, oh my God! What if you're drunk while you see a gay couple? You'll exorcist vomit out.
You'd vomit and shit.
Damn.
Or they cancel each other out and he comes instead.
I'm so homophobic. I come when I see guys kiss.
Only when I'm drunk, though.
They were so disgusting, I couldn't stop coming. Vile.
Damn, dude, you're the most international of all of us, because Matt and I are just like Northeast trash.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an international man of mystery.
Yeah, me and Bobby are just a couple of New York City comedians doing what New York City comedians do. How many episodes in you think before people get sick of us doing
They'll
that?
never get.
Someone commented on one of my posts with that. I'm like,
Nice.
hell yeah, I'm making other people autistic.
No way, dude. When we do a live show, the entire audience is going to shout, "Doing what New York City comedians do!" And then
It's
there's
so funny. Just something that started as me and Bobby doing something to annoy Mike Harrington and Chris from Brooklyn. If it ever actually catches on.
It's funny, we did it to Mike Harrington first, and you and I were like, that was the best guy to do it to. And then when we did it to Chris from Brooklyn, we're like, oh, that's the guy that gets the most upset by it.
why?
It's so against him to the core.
How can somebody named Chris from Brooklyn be upset by somebody else proclaiming they're a New York comedian? Well, you're not specific to what borough you were.
I think there was one time, it was either Chris or Mike, where after we did it, we both folded our arms and stood back to back.
It's so fucking stupid, dude.
Just lean back.
Damn, I'm glad we figured out that comedy, it could be clever punchlines, or it could just be being annoying.
Yeah.
You know? Be in the moment.
Be annoying in the moment.
Yeah, I was on a train earlier today, and it was like by a school as the school was getting out, and two of the kids were like talking to each other, and one of them's like playing a Nintendo Switch game, and he's like, "When is it my turn?" And then the other kid just says, "It's my turn to fuck your mom," and I was and I thought, I was like, that's literally a riff that like we would say on a show, and we are adults doing a comedy show.
Well, hey, maybe
Who've been
that was
doing
like
comedy for years.
That's child prodigy right there. You just fucking saw, all right? A child with the genius of a man, unstoppable.
Yeah, we got to get him on the pod.
Yeah.
This child has the intellect of a 37-year-old drug addict.
Yeah, let's bring him on and ask him if he jerks off to other children.
It's my turn to fuck your mom, dude. Damn, I'm gonna be fucking cracking up about that.
Imagine being like a teacher and you have to correct that. That would be.
It's also just funny because we all think like, what a fucking you know, because you read all these things about like how like, oh well, I'm raising my child like non-binary. I'm, you know, our kids are progressive. You know, we express our feelings.
I don't know, anytime I pass the school, I hear kids calling each other gay. Still, it's
thank God, dude. Remember when like Hillary Duff and fucking Wanda Sykes were trying to make it be like, oh, you think something's gay? What, like it's a bad thing?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say it's so Matt Marin. You know, why are you saying it's gay? Why are you saying it's retarded? It's like, because it's gay and retarded, you fucking gay retarded bitch. What do you want me to fucking say?
You should have had a commercial after, like, you know, the State of the Union where they have the other party's response.
Yeah.
That should have been your commercial. Hey, I'm Joe Gorman, and here's what I think about gay and retarded.
Wanda Sykes, Hillary Duff, PSA, and now the rebuttal from comedian Joe Gorman.
Yeah, it's like, it's the same. Their PSA in slow motion in black and white. Hillary Duff and Wanda Sykes think it's not okay to call things gay and retarded. What can we say when the world is gay and retarded? Joe Gorman for free speech.
I just like, it's like the Hillary Duff and the Wanda Sykes PSA ends, and it's like, now the rebuttal from Joe Gorman, and Joe's like, PSA? More like PS gay.
USA.
USA. US gay. US gay. US gay.
Hell yeah.
Air guitar.
Damn, that's what we need at the Super Bowl. Commercial that's just some locker room talk. We should buy ad space for the next Super Bowl commercial.
Good luck, dude. They won't even let you advertise something as cool as marijuana during the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
They weren't allowed to advertise.
No,
marijuana?
there was going to be like a bunch of medicinal marijuana ads. Like 2 Super Bowls ago, but they put the kibosh on it.
They wouldn't want the players to see it, start smoking weed, and stop hitting their wives.
Damn, show me an athlete that smokes weed. I'll show you a fucking cool athlete. The only athletes I can think of are Rob Van Dam and Nick and Nate Diaz.
Ricky Williams is the football player who quit so he could smoke weed. And he grows weed professionally now.
There was that pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. who would pitch? It was Tim something. Tim Lincoln.
Tim Lincecum?
Lincecum.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he looks like a weed guy.
He's a little fucking weed guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he flamed out. He was a short king. I mean, by like Major League Baseball pitching standards, he was like 5'10". Okay. Pitchers are always over 6 feet tall, and he was a small guy, 170 pounds, skinny, but just fucking fired like 98-mile-an-hour fastballs.
You know why? It's because his arm broke and it healed super fast.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a joke?
It's a rookie of the year, dude.
He broke his arm when he was a kid.
Well, because Matt just looked so serious. I was like,
he actually did have like an arm injury also. But it didn't like make him a pitcher. It ended his pitching career.
Even better. So he was a reverse rookie of the year.
Yeah.
He had a reverse.
A far sadder film. It's in reverse.
Actually, in real life, every time that happens, it's a reverse rookie of the year. When you injure your arm, it always makes you a worst pitcher.
Dude, what
the movie is the weird thing.
What a movie that would be. It's just a sad man who didn't spend his money well, sitting in a community college class, trying to learn how to be a business administrator.
Yeah, trying to fucking like revitalize his fucking failed career. Trying to get his namesake out there, like opening a restaurant or something.
Dude, that's got to be the most depressing life available to a person, is to be rich and then not be rich anymore.
Oh, fuck that.
You know what I mean?
You got to save your money, dude.
Yeah.
You got it. There's nothing scarier than like not having money and running out.
But if you're broke your whole life, like, yeah, it sucks. But like, if you are a literal millionaire, and then it's like, all right, now you got to unload a truck. Like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a whole documentary called Broke about athletes who just spent through all their money.
I would watch that. Yeah, and they would always just bring them out, and they were like, because like a lot of those guys, like when they signed their first contract, they got their first $1 million. That was like the first time they ever had true wealth, and they didn't know what to do with it, and nobody was. They didn't have. It's not like the NFL provided them any financial advisors to be like, you should invest half of this, like 40% of every check should go into like a savings or something. Like, they just didn't have that. They don't know. Yeah. They associate wealth with like, I have a fancy suit, I have a nice car, but true wealth is security.
Yeah.
Yes.
Comfort.
And trying to explain that to someone and they're fucking 19, like their brain is
especially like kids who grew up with like generational poverty and now get a generational wealth one-time contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked it up because it was driving me crazy. I forgot the hatchet lady who went around attacking saloons with a hatchet. Her name was Carrie Nation, and the nickname was Hatchet Granny.
More like dumb bitch.
Hatchet Granny sounds like a dominatrix.
The Hatchet Granny?
Yeah. Just hatchets your balls while talking about how old she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hatchet Granny.
Damn, dude.
Attacking alcohol, serving establishments, mostly taverns, with a hatchet. Jesus.
Damn.
Yikes.
She was the original like hardline straight edge chick. She probably had those 3 X's tattooed on her arm.
Probably.
And she loved Minor Threat.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, wasn't that was always funny, like those like hardcore straight edge people that would go into mosh pits and beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
I never really got the mosh pit like appeal when it was like, I guess it's, well, maybe it's because I was like a wrestler growing up, so I like got my frustration out in like judo classes and amateur wrestling classes.
It's absolutely just like
because I would see all these kids. I've gone to like concerts where I'm like, I like this band. I get there and I look at the mosh pit. I'm like, can't even get close to this. I'm like, what? Have you guys just never been in a fight in your life? And I guess that is what it is.
That's absolutely what it is.
It's just a bunch of dorks who've never fought anyone, and this is like where they get out their frustration.
Yeah, they just shove around. It's like, I don't know. That never looked enjoyable. That always looked scary to me.
Crowd surfing is fun.
Crowd surfing does look like fun.
Yeah. So someone did it to me. I was at a Bad Religion show, and I was lifted without my consent.
Uh-oh.
Like all of a sudden, I hear all my friends go 3, 2, 1, and then I'm up in the air.
Yeah.
And at first, it's like disorienting and like a little uncomfortable because you're like, okay, I'm relying on strangers to make sure my head doesn't hit the floor.
It's like a fun trust fall almost.
Yeah. But then it got fun. But then I got sad at the end because the security pulls you down and they're mad at you, and I don't like when people are mad at me.
Do they smash your head into a bathroom stall?
Yeah. Can you imagine if that's how I died? Then they like the Czech police had explained to my parents, they're like, yeah, he got too excited about petting this dog. That's the most basic white girl way to die is that I wanted to
Pet a dog
Pet a
too
dog.
much.
Like, what a fucking like a big guy that's like so like bigger, physically bigger than you, bigger and imposing. He's like, oh, what a drunk little asshole. You know, he was like, oh, I need to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, well, what's the point of being a huge guy if you don't get to hit people?
Oh, being like a protecting people.
Yeah.
Protecting people.
Yeah.
Well, he's protecting me for being a douche for the entire night.
I get, well, yeah, maybe.
Protecting other people from my douchebaggery.
Yeah, I mean, like I could see him if you did that to a woman and then like her boyfriend came up,
Yeah.
and he was like, I gotta kick your ass out of principle. That's fine, but like if I was like a big fucking dude, I was like, hey, can you like take it easy on petting a dog? Like, I'll pet your dog whenever the fuck I want. I'd be like, what the fuck was that little guy? Did everyone else see it? What the fuck was that? Anyway,
And then I'd be there and say, I don't know, Joe. I think you got to go beat the shit out of him.
You think I should rape this guy in the bathroom? You think I should do?
I afterwards too. I went to the bartender and I was like, I was just assaulted. In the
Oh, you got full white girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God. For real?
But she saw like how I was behaving before, so she was like, and then. Obviously I was like still wasted, so the shame didn't fully sit into the next day. But that, I was like, oh, I should probably. All right, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That sucks, and you had to relive it right now.
Nah, that's all right because that's like who I was. It's not who I am. Who I am now is
so
a guy that
funny,
just likes
you
to
coming
riff.
out of the bathroom. I was just assaulted to a bartender who just saw you say "fuck you" to a guy because he said "take it easy," you were petting my dog.
Maybe in like Bob.
He should have fucking broke my nose.
The actual reality is like Bob was just shaking the dude's dog, and he was like, "Take it easy." He's like, "I'm petting him. He loves it."
He was jerking him off. He was
Red Rocket. You're just straight up jerking off the guy's dog. You're like, "Hey, take it. I'm trying to breed him.
Yeah.
Trying to put him out the stud."
It's like, I don't want a red rocket jerking. I don't want a red rocket giving my dog a red rocket. I got there.
Proud of you, Maddie.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. Relax, dude. We're over an hour. We're just having a good time.
Yeah. Just doing a little extra.
Give the people what they want. Just more solid riffs, baby.
More solid riffs.
Yeah.
More
Riffs
drunken
and kisses.
More drunken Bobby stories.
That was wild, man.
Yeah.
No, dude, that was crazy.
Bobby's lived a life before he became a world-renowned comedian.
Yeah, well, before I became a world-renowned comedian, I like quit drinking and then started doing stand-up. So no one that knows me from comedy knows me as a drunk guy, which is probably for the best.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I liked about moving to New York was it was like kind of a fresh start.
Yeah.
Like
all those allegations went away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's disappeared, dude. Leave it in California. And it was cool, but it was also like nobody knew who I was, but that was also like, I'm going to fucking blow your mind at this fucking open mic.
Yeah.
Because like lo and behold, I actually have 10 years of experience doing this shit, but I'll put my name in the bucket. You got to have zero ego, man.
Yeah.
The scene will tear you up otherwise.
Yeah, it was interesting for me because I had been like pro wrestling, and I was kind of a dorky kid who I wasn't like bullied a lot, but I was like just like I wasn't like popular or cool. And when I was like getting into wrestling, I was like, now I can like be a different person.
Yeah.
And went like the other way with it, where I was like a dick to people, and then got into comedy. It was like, okay, I'm back to being nice, and no one who, and like I have a new friend group. No one in comedy knows how much of a dick I was being when I was a wrestler. It's like the first time in my life that a girl comes up to me after a show and like wants to hook up with me, and I don't know if any 18-year-old is gonna handle that really well.
No, not at all, dude.
Yeah, and now in comedy, I'm back to that not happening anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, comedy is a great equalizer. You don't
Yeah.
want somebody that wants to fuck you because of your comedic skills, though.
I went out. This is a couple years ago. A girl saw me do a set, and she came up to me, and we were talking, and I asked her for a number, and we like went on a date the next day, and she just slowly realized that I was not the same guy that she saw 8 minutes of the day before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You don't constantly talk about not being good at sex and jerking off all the time.
right. Well, that's the. I'm like, well, she's on board with how weird I am because my stand-up, like how weird it is, and then so I'm like, okay, I'm in, and then she was just kind of like, eh.
There's less punchlines in person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
I didn't write the hour of dialogue
Yeah.
for the date beforehand. I wish I had.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have been the way to go.
I don't know. It's different. Like the person you are on stage is vastly different from who you are.
Have you ever dated someone or hooked up with someone that like knew you from your comedy?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Sometimes I would like walk off stage and I'd find a bitch in the audience.
Yeah.
And I'd point and be like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And they're like, yes.
At the end of your set, they all just throw panties up and you sniff them all and pick one and then match it to the girl and that's who you go home with.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, everyone put your business card in this fishbowl.
I remember I dated a girl for a little bit who met me at a comedy show, but she didn't see my set. Her friend did. Her friend liked my comedy and then goes to her friend and said, there's a guy who's on the show who I think you'd like. And then like kind of made that match. That was pretty cool because then it wasn't like I got to like actually meet the girl as a person first.
Yeah.
But she got like the recommendation from the comedy.
Nice.
I think that's a like kind of a decent workaround.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I think if you're trying to do comedy specifically to get laid, that's a formula to be unfunny.
Yeah. Or make money.
Or make money. Yeah.
Or have fans. Or be successful.
Yeah. You just gotta work for people after the bar show saying, hey man, good set.
Yeah.
And use that for food.
Yeah. You just gotta have faith.
You gotta touch your body.
You let that fuel you, man.
You gotta have faith, just like you gotta have faith in locker room talk.
Gotta.
Yeah. So, folks, continue to like, subscribe, support us on Patreon.
We don't have a Patreon.
What?
Well,
Matt!
Not every podcast has to end with like good riffs and plugs.
Matt, my fucking rent is due. What are you telling? What the fuck do you mean we don't have a fucking Patreon, dude?
We'll get a Patreon and we'll get a video going once Joe wakes up with his girlfriend and still is able to record in her apartment.
Now, baby, you're not gonna like this. But
so I'm gonna need you to leave the apartment on Thursday evenings.
Still pay rent though.
Yeah. I mean come on. She signed the lease too.
I didn't sign a lease. I'm a squatter.
Hell yeah.
Squatting on your face, taking a shit, doggy. All right, bye. Fuck, we blew it, dude. We fucking blew it.
Get the fuck up!